In the world of international trade, tariffs are essentially taxes levied on goods imported from other countries. They act as a barrier to trade, making imported goods more expensive and thus less competitive compared to domestically produced goods. In 2018, the Trump administration imposed tariffs on billions of dollars worth of Chinese goods, citing concerns over unfair trade practices and intellectual property theft. These tariffs, ranging from 10% to 25%, targeted a wide array of products from electronics and machinery to clothing and furniture. The stated goal of these tariffs was to protect American jobs and businesses by making Chinese imports less appealing to consumers. However, the reality has proven far more complex and far-reaching than initially anticipated. The tariffs have ignited a trade war between the world's two largest economies, disrupting global supply chains and creating uncertainty for businesses and consumers alike. The imposition of tariffs, while seemingly a straightforward policy decision, has set off a chain reaction with unforeseen consequences, rippling through the global economy and impacting businesses and individuals far beyond the borders of the United States and China. The true cost of this trade war is still unfolding, and its long-term implications remain to be seen. The immediate impact of the tariffs was felt most acutely in the shipping industry. With the increased cost of importing goods from China, many businesses found themselves facing difficult decisions. Some chose to absorb the higher costs, squeezing their profit margins, while others opted to pass the burden onto consumers in the form of higher prices. The uncertainty surrounding the tariffs led to a dramatic slowdown in shipping activity. Container ships, once laden with goods destined for American shores, were suddenly left stranded at sea, caught in a logistical nightmare. Some ships were forced to turn around mid-voyage, their cargo no longer economically viable in the face of the new tariffs. Others were left idling at ports, waiting for clarity on the ever-changing trade landscape. The tariffs also led to a surge in demand for warehouse space, as businesses scrambled to find places to store goods that were either delayed or no longer profitable to import. This unexpected surge in demand drove up warehousing costs, further exacerbating the financial strain on businesses already grappling with the impact of the tariffs. The ripple effects of these disruptions continue to reverberate throughout the global shipping industry, highlighting the interconnectedness of international trade and the far-reaching consequences of protectionist policies. Let's track a hypothetical shipment of consumer electronics, a common import from China, to understand the complexities and potential pitfalls in the age of tariffs. Our journey begins in Shenzhen, China, a bustling manufacturing hub known for its production of electronics. The goods are carefully packaged and loaded into a shipping container, destined for the port of Los Angeles, a major gateway for trans-Pacific trade. The journey across the Pacific Ocean typically takes about 3 weeks. However, this is just the beginning of the odyssey. Upon arrival in Los Angeles, the container ship may encounter delays due to congestion at the port, a consequence of the tariff-induced slowdown in shipping traffic. The container is then offloaded and transported to a nearby warehouse where it awaits customs clearance. Here, the shipment encounters another hurdle: import duties. The newly imposed tariffs add a significant cost to the shipment, potentially increasing the final price for consumers. Once customs clearance is granted, the container is loaded onto a truck for the final leg of its journey to a distribution center and eventually to retail stores. This final leg can take an additional 1 to 2 weeks, depending on the final destination. Throughout this journey, the shipment faces potential delays and added costs at every step, highlighting the fragility of global supply chains in the face of trade tensions. The impact of the tariffs extends far beyond the shipping industry and the immediate costs added to imported goods. The tariffs have had a ripple effect throughout the U.S. economy, impacting businesses and workers in various sectors. One of the hardest-hit sectors has been manufacturing. While the tariffs were intended to protect American manufacturing jobs, they have, in many cases, had the opposite effect. The increased cost of imported components used in a wide range of manufactured goods has made American-made products less competitive both domestically and internationally. This has led to decreased demand for American-made goods, forcing some manufacturers to scale back production, lay off workers, or even shut down operations altogether. The trucking industry, a vital link in the supply chain, has also felt the sting of the tariffs. With fewer goods being shipped between ports and warehouses, trucking companies have seen a decrease in demand for their services, leading to layoffs and reduced wages for truck drivers. The tariffs have created a climate of uncertainty and instability in the U.S. economy, making it difficult for businesses to plan for the future and invest in growth. This uncertainty has had a chilling effect on investment, further hindering economic growth and job creation. Section 5, Shifting Sands, Global Trade Finds New Paths. The trade war has not only disrupted the flow of goods between the United States and China, but has also forced both countries to seek out alternative trading partners. China, in particular, has been actively working to reduce its reliance on the U.S. market. It has strengthened ties with other Asian countries, as well as with Europe and Africa, seeking to diversify its export markets and secure new sources of imports. This diversification strategy has been met with some success. China has managed to partially offset the decline in exports to the United States by increasing exports to other countries. However, finding replacements for certain U.S. imports, such as soybeans and high-tech components, has proven more challenging. The United States, on the other hand, has found it difficult to replace the wide array of inexpensive goods that China has traditionally supplied. While some companies have shifted production to other countries, such as Vietnam and Bangladesh, these countries often lack the infrastructure and manufacturing capacity to fully replace China's output. This shift in global trade patterns has created both challenges and opportunities for businesses around the world. While some have struggled to adapt to the new realities of the global marketplace, others have seized the opportunity to expand into new markets and forge new partnerships. Section 6. Empty shelves and price hikes, the consumer's burden. While the trade war has had far-reaching consequences for businesses and the global economy, its impact on the average consumer is perhaps the most tangible and immediate. The tariffs, by increasing the cost of imported goods, have contributed to rising prices on a wide range of consumer products. From everyday essentials like clothing and footwear to durable goods like appliances and electronics, consumers are feeling the pinch of the trade war in their wallets. The tariffs have also led to shortages of certain products as businesses struggle to adjust to the new trade landscape. These shortages have been particularly acute in industries that rely heavily on Chinese imports, such as the toy industry and the electronics industry. The holiday shopping season, typically a boon for retailers, has been particularly challenging in the wake of the trade war. Consumers, faced with higher prices and limited selection, have become more cautious with their spending, leading to slower sales growth and increased pressure on retailers. The tariffs have added an unwelcome layer of complexity and uncertainty to the consumer experience, making it more difficult for shoppers to find the products they need at prices they can afford. Section 7. The time to act is now: navigating the tariff storm. In these turbulent times of trade wars and economic uncertainty, it is more important than ever for consumers to be informed and proactive. The tariffs are having a real impact on the prices of goods, and this impact is likely to continue for the foreseeable future. Consumers should be prepared to see price increases on a wide range of products, from clothing and electronics to furniture and appliances. It is also important to be aware of potential shortages, especially for products that are heavily reliant on Chinese imports. If you are considering making a major purchase, it may be wise to do so sooner rather than later, before the tariffs take full effect. By being informed about the potential impact of the tariffs and by making smart purchasing decisions, consumers can help to mitigate the negative effects of the trade war on their wallets. It is also important for consumers to make their voices heard by contacting their elected officials and expressing their concerns about the impact of the tariffs on the economy and on their lives. Section 8. A glimmer of hope, charting a course forward. While the trade war has undoubtedly created challenges for businesses and consumers alike, it is important to remember that this is not an insurmountable crisis. There are steps that can be taken to mitigate the negative impacts of the tariffs and to chart a course towards a more stable and prosperous future. One crucial step is for the U.S. and China to return to the negotiating table and work towards a resolution to the trade dispute. Both sides have legitimate concerns that need to be addressed, but a protracted trade war is in no one's best interest. In the meantime, businesses should explore ways to diversify their supply chains and reduce their reliance on Chinese imports. This may involve shifting production to other countries or finding alternative suppliers. Consumers, for their part, can help to support American businesses and workers by choosing to buy American-made products whenever possible. By working together, businesses, consumers, and policymakers can help to navigate the challenges of the trade war and create a more resilient and prosperous economy for all. Section 9. Seeking further insights, resources, and information. The trade war is a complex and evolving issue, and it is important to stay informed about the latest developments and their potential impact. There are a number of resources available to help you stay up to date on the trade war and its implications. Reputable news organizations such as Business Insider, The Wall Street Journal, and The New York Times provide comprehensive coverage of the trade war, including analysis and expert commentary. Government websites such as the Office of the United States Trade Representative and the United States International Trade Commission offer official information on tariffs, trade agreements, and other relevant topics. Industry associations and trade groups can also be valuable sources of information, providing insights into how the trade war is impacting specific sectors and industries. By staying informed and engaged, you can better understand the complexities of the trade war and make informed decisions for yourself, your business, and your family.